this doesn't say anything about democracy and about the quality of how women can work in the parliament and in politics, actually. So this is more about like post-Soviet political culture, having women represented in the parliament who just had no chance to actually do anything. But if you speak about Germany, of course, I'm very much, as Olga Bielkova, I'm very much a proponent of quotas. Even if this is not really the focus of the CDU, the party the Adenauer Foundation is close to, because we have right now in the parliament 30% of women representation, but in the CDU only almost 18% of the parliamentarians are women. So you could say, well, Germany is of course better than Ukraine, but it's not that positive. But in general, it's a question of political parties and, of course, political culture. So we have, I guess, the Greens, the Social Democrats, and the Left Party. They have this quota. We still don't have. But on the other hand, what we have is a chancellor. I mean, she as a woman, of course. She's a remarkable person, and it's not only her. And it's now, we have the new leader of the CDU party, the Christian Democrats, Annegret Kramp-Karrenbauer. It's not that very easy for foreigners to pronounce this name, so we say just shortly AKK. But so she openly said just recently that, oh, I'm a quota woman and I'm proud of it. So in order to start this process, we are talking about to get more women involved into politics. You certainly have to have sort of these quotas, even if it's not necessary. I mean, of course, like Angela Merkel, she's not a quota woman, but still, I would say it is very necessary for politics. So if we speak about also culture of political leadership, then there is still a lot to improve also in Germany, and if it's about improvement of career opportunities. What Germany actually did in 2015, and I think this was really very important step, is the so-called corporate supervisory boards that every publicly traded business has to appoint at least 30% of positions in their regulatory bodies since 2016. So this is something new, even if it's not easy again to find these women, but all businesses are obliged to take at least these 30%. So this is also one result of the Christian democratic policy, even if you could say, well, of course, it's also social democratic, used to be that time social democratic coalition, but it was one of the policy. Ursula von der Leyen, she's now Minister of Defense, and she used to be the Minister for Youth and Families. What she actually introduced this time. So I would say, just to summarize, there's still quite a lot to do in Germany, and there's a lot of resistance still, and women have to fight. They still have to fight, even if we have been now, how many years after, almost 50 years after 1968, when was the start of the so-called women movement in Germany. You still have to fight to get what you want to, and what you have to. It's not just that you simply get it. I wouldn't say there is such a big gap between the salaries of men and women. It's also refer to the fact that women, they have this kind of forces. I mean, they go to these the times where they educate children, and they later go back to their job. They later return to their job. So this is, of course, why it's also one reason why many of them like earn lower salaries. But in general, I would say for women it is still harder, much harder to get into a leading position, into a high position, even now. We definitely have to improve it, and again, we have to improve also the political culture, because I think there must be more women in politics, even in Germany, and also to give an example for other European countries like Ukraine. Yeah, that's an interesting question actually. When I was in St. Petersburg from 2000 to 2005. At that time we had like 80 men working abroad, and only 5 of them were women. Now we have 100, I guess, 105, and only 15 of them are women. So not really a big improvement. But what I learned is, again, you always have to fight, and you always have to work much harder than men. And if you if you need time for yourself, for your family, for your kids, this is something you really have to, again, you have to always fight for. But if there's a man who who wants to take time for his family and for his kids, this is much more, how do you say, for him much easier to get an excuse than for a woman. That's my experience. So you generally have to work, I would say, more, and you always have to find a way how to do your work and still take care of your children and your family, because no one will ask you about this. But anyway, if you want to, and again we spoke about women who have to have the will of working, then you can do it. I mean, in our society, of course, it is possible to make a career. That's for sure.